My name is Vincent Costello. For 40 years, I built Costello Enterprises from a small garage into a $2 billion empire. I had everything: money, power, respect, a beautiful wife, 3 sons, a mansion in Connecticut. I thought I was the luckiest man alive. I was wrong. 3 weeks ago, I attended my own funeral and discovered the most painful truth of my life. Everyone I loved wanted me dead. Let me start from the beginning. It was February 14th, Valentine's Day. I had just left our family headquarters after a 14-hour workday. I was tired, but happy. I had a surprise planned for Sarah. 25 years of marriage deserved something special. I had booked the restaurant where we had our first date. Roses waiting at the table, a diamond bracelet in my jacket pocket. I got into my car and started driving home. The rain was heavy that night. I remember turning on the radio and smiling, thinking about Sarah's face when she saw the bracelet. Then my brakes failed. Completely. I pumped them frantically. Nothing. The car accelerated downhill. I tried the emergency brake. It snapped. 60 miles per hour, 70, 80. I was screaming. I saw the guardrail at the bottom of the hill and I thought, this is how I die. My last thought before impact was, I never told my sons enough times that I loved them. The paramedics said I was dead for 4 minutes at the scene. Massive head trauma, 3 broken ribs, internal bleeding. They rushed me to Metropolitan General. The lead surgeon that night was my oldest friend, Dr. James Chen. We grew up together in Brooklyn. He was the best man at my wedding. After surgery, I slipped into a coma. The official report stated that Vincent Costello had died at 11:47 p.m. on February 14th. That was the story given to my family. That was the death certificate James signed with his own hand.
I'm sorry, he didn't make it.
No.
But James knew something nobody else did. My brain activity was unusual. There was signal, faint, barely detectable, but real. James made a decision that night that would change everything. He moved me to a private room in a restricted wing, a room registered under a false name. He told my family I was gone. 11 days later, I opened my eyes.
What happened? You've been through a lot.
I need to get up.
No. Not yet.
Vincent, listen carefully. You're alive, but Sarah thinks you're dead. Your sons think you're dead. Everyone thinks you're dead. What? Why would you? Vincent, your brake lines were cut, both of them, cleanly, professionally. This wasn't an accident. Someone tried to kill me. Whoever did it is very close to you. If they know you survived, they'll try again. I had to protect you. My family. Do you think, Vincent, your funeral is today, in 4 hours, and I think you need to be there. James gave me clothes from his gym bag, a black baseball cap, sunglasses, St. Patrick's Cathedral. 2,000 people attended. Politicians, business leaders, celebrities. The eulogies were beautiful. 3 senators spoke about my legacy.
Vincent Costello's life changed countless lives, and he will be remembered. His vision shaped every life he touched, a legacy that will endure. Vincent Costello's impact will never be forgotten.
My business partner wept at the podium.
Vincent, you were more than a partner, a brother.
I sat in the very last row, head down, sunglasses on. Not one person recognized me. I watched my own memorial service. Sarah was crying, beautiful tears. She looked devastated. Our 3 sons beside her, Marcus serious and still, David wiping his eyes, Thomas staring at the floor. It looked perfect. It looked like grief. But I started noticing things, small things. The way Marcus occasionally glanced at Sarah and gave the tiniest nod. The way Sarah's crying seemed to start and stop too perfectly. The way Thomas kept checking his phone. James whispered, "Stay, wait until everyone leaves." After the church service, there was a burial ceremony at Riverside Cemetery. I watched them lower a casket with my name on it into the ground. Sarah threw a single white rose onto the casket. Slowly, the crowd thinned, until finally it was just my family. Sarah, Marcus, David, Thomas. James and I waited behind a row of oak trees 50 meters away. "Now what?" James whispered. The moment the last car disappeared, Sarah stopped crying, not gradually, like a light switch being flipped. 1 second, tears and grief. Next second, completely dry eyes, straight posture, looking at her phone. She looked up at Marcus and smiled. A smile I had never seen in 40 years of marriage. Cold, triumphant, satisfied. Marcus grabbed his mother and they hugged, not in grief, in celebration. David pumped his fist in the air. Thomas jumped up and down twice. My sons were celebrating at my grave. He's finally gone. That stupid old fool. He actually believed we loved him right to the very end. Mom, we're billionaires. We actually pulled it off. Everything goes to us.
All the pieces fell into place, finally.
It's over. Every bit of waiting was worth it.
I still can't believe cutting the brake lines actually worked. My youngest son cut my brake line. My middle son called my death clean. My eldest son was already counting the billion. I had raised 3 strangers. Then Sarah lit a cigarette and smiled.
40 years wasted, and now finally freedom.
It all went exactly as we planned.
40 years I waited for this day. 40 years of pretending to love that boring, self-righteous workaholic man. Do you know how exhausting it is to fake love for 40 years? It's over now, Mum. Everything he built belongs to us. I need to call David.
Been waiting 40 years for this. It's finally time. Everything is ready. I just need to make the call.
Sarah, is it done?
It's done, baby. He's gone 3 years of waiting, and it's finally over.
When can I see you? Give it 2 weeks for appearances. Then I'm coming to you and I'm never pretending again. And David, the 500 million we discussed, you'll have it transferred by the end of the month. Sarah, I would have waited forever for you. I know, but we don't have to wait anymore. She hung up and smiled at her sons. Gentlemen, the Costello Empire is ours. My hands were trembling against that tree bark. Every instinct was screaming at me to confront them. James grabbed my arm. Not yet. Not like this. If you walk over there now, what do you have?
Word against yours, you need to be smarter. One chance to destroy them, don't waste it on anger.
I took the deepest breath of my life. James was right. I was going to destroy them, but I was going to do it properly.
I need 3 things. Proof Thomas cut the brakes. Proof of Sarah and David's plan. Documentation of their moves with my estate.
Your estate lawyer is Harold Mill. Can you trust him? Harold cried at my funeral. Genuinely. Yes, I trust Harold. Then we start there. But Vincent, you can't reveal yourself yet. As far as the law is concerned, you're dead. Sarah's lawyers will freeze everything. You need to stay dead for 2 more weeks. All right, James, let's go to work. What happened over the next 14 days was the most intense period of my life. Harold Mills nearly had a heart attack when I called him and said, Harold, it's Vincent. I'm alive. Harold confirmed my worst fears. Sarah had already met with her own lawyers the morning after the funeral. She was planning to liquidate my companies, sell the real estate, transfer funds offshore. My investigator located David Prescott, a financial consultant. He and Sarah had been together for 3 years. There were emails, wire transfer arrangement, everything documented. For the brake lines, James connected me with a forensic mechanic. The cut was professional, but not professional enough. There were tool marks, and on the underside of the car, 1 partial fingerprint. Thomas had made 1 mistake. He touched the car frame while cutting the line. The fingerprint matched Thomas Costello. I had everything. Now it was time. On day 14, Sarah announced she was planning a memorial foundation in my name, a $10 million charity fund. The media loved it. That afternoon, she received a phone call from an unknown number.
Mrs. Costello? This is Robert Walsh from Metropolitan General. We noticed a small discrepancy in your late husband's file. We need you to come in tomorrow to clarify it with you.
What kind of discrepancy? Nothing alarming. Purely administrative. Fine. 10 a.m. She didn't know she had just agreed to walk into the most important meeting of her life, the conference room on the 8th floor of Metropolitan General. Seated around the table, Harold Mills with documents, Marcus Webb with evidence, Detective Angela Ross from Major Crimes, Patricia Chang, forensic accountant, and James Chen. 1 chair was empty at the head of the table. Mine. Sarah walked in, dressed in elegant black. I was told this was an administrative meeting. Why are all these people? The door behind her opened. I walked in. Silent. Sound. Coffee cup falls, shatters. No, you're not. You're dead.
Sit down, Sarah.
This is impossible. You died. I saw the certificate. I said, sit down. She slowly sat, eyes never leaving me, face completely white. You look surprised. 11 days in a coma gives you time to think, time to reflect on what really matters. Do you know what I thought about most? Not the business, not the money. I thought about you, about our son, about 40 years together, about whether any of it was real. I know the answer now. You need to understand that legally, you are deceased. Actually, Sarah, legally he is very much alive. The death certificate was filed under emergency protective circumstances. Vincent Costello is legally alive as of 9 a.m. today. Detective Angela Ross, Major Crimes. Mrs. Costello, I have a warrant for your arrest and warrants for Marcus, David, and Thomas Costello. They're being picked up as we speak. I want you to see everything, Sarah. Patricia, please. 3 years of wire transfers between Sarah Costello and David Prescott. $4.2 million total, hidden across 11 shell companies in 4 countries. 347 text messages over 30 months, including these from February 12th, 2 days before the accident. David to Sarah. Is Thomas ready? Sarah to David. Everything is set for Tuesday. David to Sarah. And you're sure about the car? Sarah to David. Thomas did it last night. It's done. 2 days before Valentine's Day. While I was buying your bracelet, you were confirming my murder. Thomas's fingerprint is on the car frame. The tool marks match a cable cutter purchased on Thomas's credit card 3 weeks before the accident. I want a lawyer. Of course, Detective Ross will ensure you have access immediately. I want you to know something before you go, Sarah. I'm not doing this out of hatred. I don't hate you. I'm more sad than anything. 40 years, our sons, everything we were supposed to be. But I also feel sorry for every employee who would have lost their job when you liquidated my company. Every charity that would have lost donation. Every person whose life depends on Costello Enterprises continuing to exist. This isn't just about me, Sarah. It never was. Detective Ross, Mrs. Costello, please stand. The trial lasted 4 months. David Prescott received 12 years, Thomas 14, Marcus 12. Sarah received 18 years as the primary orchestrator. My middle son David broke down completely during the trial. He testified against his brothers and mother in exchange for a reduced sentence. 5 years, reduced to 3 with good behavior. He was the only one who wrote me a letter from prison. 3 pages, handwritten. I read it once, then I put it away. I don't know if I'll ever respond. Harold Mills restructured my estate. The companies are protected. My employees still have their jobs. The charitable foundations continue to operate. Dr. James Chen received the largest personal gift I have ever given, enough to build the free clinic in Brooklyn he had always dreamed of. He said it was too much. I told him it wasn't even close to enough. People ask me what the lesson is. What did I learn from attending my own funeral? Here's what I know now. Pay attention, not to the big thing, to the small thing, the tiny shifts in behavior, the things that don't quite add up. I missed years of warning signs because I was too busy building an empire to look at what was happening inside my own house. And this, your real family is not always the one you were born into. Your real family is made of the people who prove themselves in the moments when it cost them something. James Chen proved himself. Harold Mills proved himself. People who had every reason to walk away stayed. I still go to the cemetery sometime, to that spot behind the oak tree, not out of grief, out of gratitude, because standing there watching everything fall apart was also the moment I realized what I actually had left, and what I had left was enough. My name is Vincent Costello, and unlike what my family planned, I am very much alive. The question now is what I'm going to build next. If this story affected you, if you want to see what Costello Enterprises looks like in the next chapter, what I build from the ashes of this betrayal, and whether my middle son's letter ever gets a response, subscribe to this channel, hit that like button, and comment rise and below. Every single comment I read personally. Part 2 is coming, and I promise you, what I build next will be worth watching. Thank you for listening to my story.